For years, the narrative of generative artificial intelligence was dominated by a single, unbreakable partnership. Microsoft and OpenAI were effectively inseparable. If you wanted to run the most advanced models in the world, you had to go through Microsoft Azure. That relationship defined the market for a long time. It created a specific kind of power dynamic where one cloud provider held the keys to the kingdom. Everyone assumed this was the permanent state of affairs. The logic seemed sound. You build the model, you host the model, you own the relationship. But now, everything is shifting. The recent developments regarding Amazon Web Services and OpenAI represent a fundamental change in how these companies view their future. This is not just a new feature update. It is a strategic pivot from simply building models to focusing on enterprise integration. Think of it like the early days of the internet. In the beginning, you had walled gardens. You could only access certain services through specific gateways. Now we are moving toward an open marketplace where the infrastructure is the commodity, not the model itself. Here is the thing that changes the power dynamic. By bringing OpenAI models to Amazon Web Services, the exclusive reliance on Microsoft Azure ends. This creates a multi-cloud ecosystem. For enterprise customers, this reduces vendor lock-in. They are no longer forced to choose between the best technology and the best infrastructure. They can choose the best technology and run it on the infrastructure they already trust. Amazon Web Services is leveraging this partnership to accelerate the adoption of open-weight models via their Bedrock platform. They are offering a unified interface for both proprietary OpenAI models and open-source alternatives like Llama and Mistral. This is significant because it allows developers to utilize existing OpenAI-compatible codebases and tools without significant refactoring. This lowers the barrier to entry for enterprise artificial intelligence deployment. Many organizations are already using architectural patterns like retrieval-augmented generation to mitigate hallucinations. They use vector databases to ensure accuracy. With this partnership, developers can utilize these tools without needing to migrate their entire stack to a different cloud provider. They can keep their data where it is and access the models they need through a standard interface. This deal signals a shift in the generative artificial intelligence market from a duopoly to a competitive multi-cloud landscape. Cloud providers are now forced to compete on model variety, cost, and infrastructure performance rather than exclusivity. Amazon Web Services is monetizing its massive cloud infrastructure and specialized artificial intelligence chips by becoming the preferred alternative for OpenAI's compute needs. This diversifies OpenAI's revenue streams beyond Microsoft. It allows OpenAI to reduce the risk of being entirely dependent on a single partner. It also allows Amazon Web Services to showcase their specialized hardware, such as Inferentia and Trainium, to a massive new audience. Now consider the implications for the developers. In the past, switching models meant rewriting code. You had to adapt to the specific quirks of each provider. Now, with a unified interface, the transition becomes seamless. You can test different models without changing your application logic. This accelerates innovation because the friction of deployment is removed. Companies can experiment faster. They can find the right balance between cost and performance without being held hostage by a single vendor. This is the real value proposition for the enterprise. It is not just about having access to a model. It is about having the flexibility to manage that access efficiently. Conversely, a significant disagreement exists regarding model accessibility. While some researchers argue that open-source foundation models offer superior societal benefits, others support proprietary models as industry standards. This partnership bridges that gap by offering both. It acknowledges that while open-source models have value, proprietary models often serve as the industry standard for critical tasks. By supporting both, the platform allows organizations to make their own choice based on their specific needs. This flexibility is crucial for the projected $100 billion market size expected by the end of the decade. The immediate operational reality of deploying specific proprietary models on specific cloud marketplaces remains complex. This partnership simplifies that complexity. The strategic pivot is clear. The focus is moving from building models to enterprise integration. The power is no longer just about who owns the model. It is about who controls the pipeline to the customer. This shift forces everyone to compete on the quality of the infrastructure. It forces the model providers to compete on the quality of the model. And it forces the cloud providers to compete on the price and performance of the compute. This creates a healthier market for everyone involved. It prevents any single entity from dictating terms to the entire industry. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I am a one-person team working hard to make each video better than the last. Subscribe if you found value. It is the best way to show support. Drop a comment with your biggest takeaway. See you in the next video.